was doing earlier, she was like, what's doing that mean? You know?
You're a weirdo gonna turn the video on.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see no video.
This is weird.
The video?
You're recording me watching the video.
I'm not recording you. The camera is not there. You don't see it. It's just a phone. Reactions.
It's so odd.
I thought it was cool.
I mean, you gotta give it to her. She's a good performer.
She's a great
regardless.
performer. Did it change my perception on being black? Like some of the other folks on, when you look at the BuzzFeed?
I haven't looked at anything. I didn't even...
Did you catch any of those undertones?
Yeah, I did, but...
Did it make you want to carry hot sauce in your bag?
No, I thought it was funny.
So are they...
People be trying to make something out of nothing.
I don't know how I feel
You could
about
tell
it.
that she was portraying black people at different times, different time periods. So she had the 80s and she had the Victorian style.
Black people were slaves in the Victorian era. What the hell?
Not
We were servants.
always.
Yeah.
There was a time where black people were, like you said, there was a Black Wall Street.
You know
there
what?
was a point in time when how she was dressed, when all the women were in the room with those fancy dresses on. There was a point in time when black people had that.
And yeah, you know what? In the southern, especially in Louisiana, the Creole, she's Creole and Haitian. So there could be that element where she's celebrating that part of her.
And that's what she
her
kept
heritage.
saying. Her father is from Louisiana or something. Her mother was Creole, and that makes it Texas,
Bama.
Texas.
Texas.
But I guess that's where she was
I
born.
think the song was more about being unapologetically southern more than unapologetically black.
Yeah, I didn't see it as a bad thing.
No, it's not bad at all. It's what we saw.
I thought it was more about her and embracing her
heritage.
her, this new Beyonce that she's trying to portray as ghetto. Sasha Fierce, or is that the one?
I saw.
No, I think there's a new one. There was Sasha Fierce, Beyonce. Beyonce's the ghetto one. So this is just her. Anything that's...
Who's Sasha Fierce then?
I don't know. We ain't see Sasha Fierce since that album.
Sasha Fierce was
Sasha Fierce was the one that was...
She was the one that sang
still
Petition.
a singer, but she was starting to get into what she calls Beyonce. Like, it was more fierce.
Was Sasha Fierce more like a spirit? It was like the spirit that invokes on her when she goes on stage. That's Sasha Fierce when she's
I guess.
popping and jellying when people aren't ready for a jelly.
I don't know, but lately she's been doing that whole Beyonce thing, which is, I mean, if you had to sum it up in a word, that's her ghetto side.
What do you think about the rising women who are actually... I saw a video, you should look it up, by Black Authority. It talks about smart hoes. It was this trend of women who pretend to be smart hoes and ghetto. I don't know, I can't really explain. You have to watch the video. Yeah, it's like a thing.
Why?
Where they have degrees and they have a secure job, like,
Because they sleep around people.
but they're still hoes, and they bask in being like the struggle, and they're thuggish.
What?
Yeah, see, I'll show you the video. Black Authority, you gotta
Who
look
does
it up.
that?
It actually makes sense
What do
when
you
you
mean?
watch
You
it,
go
'cause
around
it's
telling
like-
people you're a hoe? Like, why can't you just
no.
do what you do? Why you gotta label yourself?
They
as a
pretend that they're
smart
not hoes
hoe?
because they have degrees and they have a stable income, but
That
the
has
reality,
nothing to do with being a hoe.
when the perception is that I'm not a hoe because I have a degree, and I'm not a hoe because I have a stable job and I listen to Beyonce. But
That has nothing to do with defining someone as a hoe.
it does.
You don't define someone as a hoe.
No, what I'm saying,
how
no,
good-
you're not listening. What we're saying is that what he's saying is that the perception is that I'm not a hoe because I have this cover. I have this cover that I have a job and I take care of our responsibilities and I went to school.
Perception is that?
That's the world's perception. If you have a job and you have a stable income and you have a degree and you belong to one of the fraternities, that you're supposed to be a well-adjusted person.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree that that's not what the perception is when you see somebody who has all those things?
No, if somebody acts like a hoe, they a hoe. I don't care what kind of.
I agree
You could be
with
the president.
I agree, but that's what you believe. What I'm saying is
that's
what the
most
mass.
people believe.
I don't think most people believe that. I think most people believe what
No, we don't
the
agree.
image that, whatever images that you try to that you put out there is what you want people to believe.
If you put out the image that you're a hoe, regardless of how polished you are, if you act like a hoe, that's what people perceive you as a hoe. I don't think it has anything to do with how well you try to make yourself look or how accomplished you are.
Well, let me ask you
Like
this.
this woman, if I knew her personally.
But you don't know her personally. What you see is what she puts out, and she looks well put
Right.
together. So that's what I'm saying, is
So
what
if
you see on the outside before you get to know a person. But the reality is that they're really hoes. But they put on the front to look like before you get to know them. So anyway, we're beyond the point. How do we're talking about Beyonce? Look what you did to us, Beyonce.
You was the one who started the conversation.
I know.
So you supposed to keep it going. We don't agree.
I don't think we disagree. I think you're just saying we don't agree. We're saying the same thing. We're not disagreeing
I'm
at all.
saying that I don't determine whether or not somebody's a hoe.
I know, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the mass people in
I
general.
think the mass of people don't say that person's not a hoe because they're accomplished. Because the only way that you can determine you can't determine somebody's hoe, but you can if somebody's doing hoish stuff if they look
Right,
like
but
a
we're
hoe.
not
But if you
talking-
don't look like one, you wouldn't know unless you at least had conversations
That's
with that
exactly
person.
what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Is what we're saying the same thing.
But I don't think there's a perception that they're not hoes.
Look at you. Do you look like a hoe? Based off how you look, how you present yourself.
No.
Do you look like a hoe?
No.
Because of how you carry yourself, right?
Right.
That's what
That
I'm
don't
saying.
mean I'm not a hoe though.
Exactly. It doesn't mean you're not a hoe. These are words I never thought I'd be saying to my wife. Alright, anyway. That was our reaction.
That was a terrible reaction. Nobody's gonna watch that. Better not post that nowhere either.
Throw up the peace sign.
No.
Throw it up.
Turn this thing off.
Put the peace sign up on your hands, Linda. Don't hit the button. Put the peace sign up. God, it's so difficult.